Oh, everything will be fine. Great thoughts. One ought every day at least to hear a little song, read a good poem, see a fine picture, and if it were possible to speak a few reasonable words. Well, I like to go to the movies. I don't like an A-grade film. I only like Hollywood films. I'm biased against every film that's not Hollywood because I like a happy ending.
How would you know a film has a happy ending if you haven't seen it?
True. I don't know until I go, but I've done enough reading about script writing to know that you don't have to have a happy ending in what they call there's a triangle where films are placed. And Hollywood is in one corner, there is the B movies and the A movies. And I watched a movie once which was Hollywood, and it had a good actor in it, and I thought I'll go along and see that because he was in it. His name was Farrell, not sure of his first name.
Farrell?
Will Farrell might have been.
Comedian?
No, well, not him. No, it's another guy.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, I think you're right. And what happened was this priest gets assassinated in a church and the bullet goes right through him and kills an altar boy. And someone in the theatre laughed.
What?
And there was only about maybe a dozen people in the theatre anyway, and these people were in front of us all, a couple, and they looked like university educated people. No, I'm just kidding. But at the end of the day, it was like the whole theatre just wanted to say something to them. What's your problem? You know? And
You see, I'm going to pause you there, Mark. Can I?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think that to me it feels like this quote is simplistic. It's about a small, one little thing.
Oh, it is.
Like appreciating something that actually is just a moment. Whereas a movie, for me, you get so caught up on every moment, you know. So
True.
you actually like the end moment. That's what this was about. You like a happy ending.
I do.
And that's the bit that I'm with. So that to me is your moment.
It is.
You like a happy ending.
I like a happy
Yeah.
ending.
It's good.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I think we all like happy endings. That's what I'm with. Yeah. But life's not like that though. It's not full of happy endings, but we all like them.
Yeah.
There wasn't many movies that I have seen that have had bad endings, except for one. I was just really
Which one was
confused
that?
about it. It was the Stephen King one, and it was about the mist. And there was like these monsters that were in the mist, and everyone was hauled up inside the supermarket, and the small
I've
group
seen
of people decided to try and leave, to drive out of it. And the main character and his young son, and then there was two older people and a lady, and they were all driving in the car, and they've been driving for hours until the gas ran out. And then at the end of the movie they had a gun, and they all sort of decided that they were just going to kill themselves because they were either going to get eaten by the monsters or just starve or whatever. And there turned out to be only 4 bullets, not 5.
Oh,
So the main character shot his son first, and then the 3 in the back, and when he went to shoot himself there was no bullet, so he decided to get out of the car and walk. And as he was walking, the mist cleared, and all of the army and everything were coming to save them, and I was like,
and he just killed his son, and then he somebody else.
And he was just like, no.
Oh.
And I was like, was that the end? And I was like, oh my goodness, that's so strange.
Oh, that's even.
I do remember that movie. It was really odd. It's like for ages you didn't know what was going on in the mist.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, you're stuck in a supermarket for ages and it's like disappearing, but you don't know what's taking them.
Mm.
What is going on? Funny.
Is this your turn then?
It's. I just wanted to make a comment. It says every day at least. But if you actually get the time, like that's providing you get the time to do something like that. But one of the ones that I think of when it says here in the song is the Earth Song, which was written by someone who writes music, and he just took the birds sitting on the power posts and turned it into a song. And it was really cool.
Oh, like where they
birds
were.
sitting on the lines, looked like music notes.
Oh.
So it's like do 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 do. It was really cool.
Wow.
That's very cute.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Do you know in Melbourne, I've just tell you this, is that you can make up a song and go online and then you can get it played in these special bells that are a kind of not far off Federation Square, and they'll play your song on the sort of at 1 o'clock, or 9 o'clock, and then at 3 o'clock and at 5 o'clock. Wouldn't that be cool? Just
We've
clever.
got a big bell in Christchurch in the Botanical Gardens. It's all made out of old coins and medals. Oh, it's huge.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's huge, and it hangs, and it's so heavy that you're worried about it's going to fall, but it's all concrete, and it makes a beautiful sound. Sometimes kids hit it with sticks, so you get to hear it.
No, but that's why I think we need more sculpture in town. So if you haven't got time, but you can look and see a piece of art.
There's not a lot of sculpture.
As you,
in
no,
there.
we need more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we need
agree.
more. We need heaps. And then you've got that moment. Oh, hey, Puss. Puss! Maxie boy. He's smelling things. You could stay on one question for ages, couldn't you?
We agreed we don't need to vote for my me staying that question off, because one of the rules says the first time we played the game, what happened was I realised I had to change the rules because the conversations we weren't throwing the dice anymore,
That's what I mean.
and there was only 4 of us playing that night. No, there was 5 of us. That's right, and so I changed the rules so that there was a wee proviso that if everyone was in agreement, you didn't have to vote, because normally you just have to put majority rule 1. There's only 4 of us playing, so 3, that would be a majority agreeing with. Simply that was a good conversation started by, well, it's not just me, it's the cards as well, and
Was this a philosopher who wrote that?
it's a philosopher called, he was a German poet, dramatist and philosopher Johann Wolfgang van Gogh. 1749 he was born and he died in 1832. So that was a wee while ago, but his thoughts live on in the game as I created the game, and to me they're all players. So you're not just acknowledging me, you're acknowledging him predominantly.
Ooh, very cool. Put that in my corner.
How's that work?
I'm going to shut that door because it's annoying.
I don't know. Can I go opposite way,
Any
or do
way
I
you
have
want.
to keep
No,
going?
anti-clockwise or clockwise.
Oh, shit, that's cold.
There's an H.
Yay!
Sorry, I'm just getting a jumper.
You can
Science
choose your
or
own.
Children one.
Kids one.
Kids one?
Turn
I think they're
it
at the
there.
bottom, possibly.
Wait for Sue to come back.
Yeah, wait.
Kids Corner.
Oh, cute.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. They left their home to explore the world. What did the second little pig build his house out of? His house was made of sticks.
No flies on YouTube.
We were just watching a new game that people have made, and it's beautiful art style, and it's based on storybooks.
Yeah.
And the main character is the big bad wolf, and they have what they call glamours, where they've made themselves look like humans and blended in with the Mundies, which are us. We're not fables, we're not magical creatures, and they've lived their lives among us, and he is now the sheriff, and he is fighting between being good or being that big bad wolf again, and he has one of the 3 little pigs living in his apartment.
Oh.
And he keeps reminding him about how he blew his house down.
Oh, I see. Well, that's better than in the book, because when he died, he actually eats the... You read about him eating the pig. And I thought, did he eat the pig? And maybe I just changed since I was a kid. I didn't find it frightening when I was a kid. Found it frightening reading it as an adult.
Yeah, no. It's frightening what the kids' stories say now. Looking back, you're like, oh my god, how did they, like, how come that was read to me?
I know. Do you know what I liked about that story was when they always would get up early. It was just so sensible. They always beat him. And he'd be so frustrated. But they'd go, oh, but we went up to get the apple off the tree at 4 o'clock. Oh, damn! Oh. I love that story.
It's
And I'll half and I'll, I used to, I love that story. I love fairy tales
Yeah.
and books, children's books.
Yeah. They're really good.
I love them.
We were talking about the other one, the wolf in sheep's clothing, the other day.
I don't think I know that one.
That's a true
It's the-
Aesop's fable.
Okay, yeah, this one's cool. Okay, in Cybernetics, that's a cool name, isn't it?
Yes.
Maxwell Maltz, MD, gives a number of examples of people using mental practice, visualization, to improve their everyday lives. He describes how Napoleon practiced being a soldier in his imagination many years before he actually went on a battlefield. Isn't that amazing? So, gosh. Yeah, I think there's some. I think that I'm a very visual person, so I couldn't live without my imagination, or you know, it's important to me. It brings my fear of not being able to see things, but I know they're talking about visualization in your own mind, not something you can actually see. Because it's imagining something, isn't it, that you can't actually see. It's not something you've experienced.
Yeah. Visualizing myself.
Yeah, putting yourself somewhere.
Or maybe doing it better than you did last time.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost feel like I struggle with these sorts of things because I'm always so kind of in the present that I don't spend a lot of time thinking ahead. I kind of like to just be where I am now.
Right.
And
I
I
always think ahead.
yeah, I can
I do
imagine.
too.
Because I think you can be disappointed, you know, like it's a bit like, you know, if you're going to travel somewhere and you have this idea of where you're going to go and what it's going to be like and rah-de-rah-de-rah. Nah.
You can get let down.
Yeah, and then you get that. So I don't do that. And even if I'm going in to do something, I don't imagine. But I think I don't have the time. Seems like that would take a lot of time. I don't know. I could see it be a useful strategy.
I like.
It's not really my thing.
Well, I like that card. I believe in that card. For the one reason that Dad told me when I was younger, to if I wanted to achieve something, to visualise it every night before I went to sleep. So for about 3 or 4 nights, I envisioned my legs getting longer. This is in high school.
I shouldn't laugh.
No, I
It's not
wanted to be
funny.
taller and still short, but I grew 2 centimetres that year. And the week after I'd done it, I had the most intense growing pains in my legs.
Whoa!
I couldn't stand, but it worked.
Worked for Napoleon, it worked for you.
Yeah, it was that did it because I wouldn't have grown otherwise.
And I know a guy that was in my class,
Magic.
who was very short, and he was told he wouldn't grow anymore, and he just didn't accept that. No, and I've seen him today, and he's not short anymore.
That's great.
No,
I shrunk.
there is an operation you can get where they actually cut your whole leg somewhere, put in a piece of steel, and it actually grows a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's very long, painful.
Yes, yes.
Dwarfers that get that.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Because they want to be a bit, well, they want to be normal, but they are normal. It's just
I wanted that
So
when I was
short.
little.
acceptance.
I just wanted to be taller.
I don't really
I'm
mind.
happy with my height now.
You're happy with your
I've
height
reached a good height, I reckon.
You've reached a good height.
I wish I was smaller.
Can you
I don't-
visualise yourself? Think, well, you know, in some ways, I suppose that would be something you could do, something you could change. Maybe I could see that would be quite.
I picked charity, and the person that I would like to recognise with their charitability, also their help, free-handedness, and large-heartedness is Danielle, because earlier this year she held a quiz night to raise donations for, was it the earthquake victims? Earlier this year, and she managed to raise a really astounding amount of money with the help of some other people, but mainly it was down to her and her efforts.
Danielle Lincoln.
Yeah,
Gosh,
yeah, I just thought it was a really good thing that she did.
In
And
Queenstown.
the other thing that she's doing is when she goes back over to the Philippines to see her dad, her and William are taking pens, pencils, paper, clothes, little things like that, balls, all that sort of stuff for the kids that are playing in the street, and things that they normally wouldn't get hold of, which is really, really good way to think of what to do. Yeah. I think other people should maybe think a little bit like her.
Well done. I'll vote for that.
Yeah, me too. Can you put one in for me?
Yeah, sure. Janet? You're the winner of
There's
the...
always something you can do.
It's always...
I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon we should.
Yeah.
I won't say anything because I can't.
Okay, I'll say
So I'm
something.
not gonna
No,
be
you
talking.
can't. I'll say something. Well, I'm really surprised by how much I've learned about. I mean, I know a lot about you, Mark. I've known you all my life, but I'm just really curious. I'm just really with what I've learned about you two today, and I think it's the sort of game that gets you talking to each other.
Yeah.
And not so much about yourself, though of course it's about you, it is about you, what you share, but things a little bit more than ourselves.
I learned something about you as well.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love that about it. I
So
think
it's
that's
a game that
amazing.
you can learn. It sort of opens up conversation topics about people that you may know, but also things that you may not, like it sort of brings in topics that not are usually spoken about or
Yeah.
wouldn't usually come up in a conversation. So it kind of opens And it's kind of good though as well because you get to exercise different thought processes.
Yeah, that you wouldn't normally.
You like the cards spring out. You really have to think sometimes.
Yeah, you do. Even I have to.
It
And I
gives
know-
people a chance to say something without prejudice. And they can say something honestly what they think without people having to go in a huge debate against them or it's just hearing everybody's ideas about it, which is nice.
Yeah, perspectives.
I quite like the fact that it's not competitive because most games out there are, and depends on who you play with. It can ruin the game if you're playing with someone who is really competitive or is a really bad poor loser. But because it's a game where everyone's sort of equal the whole time, and it includes everyone when it's the other person's turn as well. It's quite enjoyable.
Yes, well, it's the
Yeah.
the level of cooperation